Hey guys, it's your girl Lady aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to The Walking Dead: The World Beyond. We're now into episode 7, which is called Truth or Dare. Yeah, we're kind of getting down to crunch time, or should be in the series right now, because we're getting pretty close to the season finale, and the biggest change, or the biggest thing that happened last episode, was the addition of 2 more people to their group, that of Percy and his uncle. We saw that Iris basically jumped in head first in trusting these guys, and it kind of bit her in the butt a little bit. And it looks like so far Percy might actually be legit, but we see Silas for, well, a couple of reasons is still suspicious of their motives. One is that obviously they came into the scene lying, so that's a big no-no. But also, as we already know, I think, or I should say we can assume from the previous episodes, he seems to have a little bit of a crush on Iris, and so, you know, a little competition is coming to the camp, and that's obviously awkward. Oh, and I should mention, I put it in the notes of the last video, but I did see the ending scene that came at the end of the last video where it looks like it's wherever their father was supposed to be. He is not there. There's no sign of him, but the picture of his kids are still there. His work is still there. So it looks like he either, yeah, I gotta think that he left in a hurry. If he's still alive, he left in a hurry because he didn't have time to grab anything. So things are obviously very not okay, and someone seemingly has taken over his work. So maybe we'll delve more into that in this episode. Not sure. We're not going to know until we watch the episode. So let's do that. But before we do, you know the drill. You've been here before and you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And that way you can be notified of when I do more reactions to this show, as well as the original Walking Dead. And it also helps a girl get to her goals. If you would like to support me in that, I would very much appreciate it. All right. Without further ado, let's get into the episode right about now. Same scar on his face. I was about to say his Huck, in the exact same place. Did she join a cult?
A Renaissance man.
Well, if you need someone to read them to you, totally here for you.
Okay, I see your game there, Iris. You just making sure you got all the men's lined up in this apocalypse. I don't blame you, girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you one Civic Republic military map. As you can see, there are no landmarks designated, no points of interest labeled. To all appearances, this looks to be useless.
Really, sir? Is this the way we have to introduce everything you do from now on?
Looks can be deceiving.
Oh,
Where are we
interesting.
Honestly, we don't know yet.
What do you mean we don't know yet?
We're exploring. Shut up.
How is this arrangement of ours going to work?
We'll figure it out. Make it work with the intel we got. That means flying blind till we do. Then we fly blind.
Yeah. The way she was talking all up in his face. Like, you hear this? You feel my breath? You smell them onions? Okay? That's how serious I am. Oh, she didn't have the scar here. So did she do that in homage then? That's a weird way to remember someone. So, Silas, relax, sir. Y'all weren't even really dating yet. Roll it back.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
Oh my god, he's so annoying. So annoying. And I feel like a drunk magician's probably 10 times worse. Please make him stop. I feel like Elton's a lightweight.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, we don't want the rage monster drunk and babbling his inner feelings right now. Please tell me someone's saying sober. It just seems like all of them getting drunk is such a bad idea.
Yes, they are.
Although maybe they'll have more guts to actually take out walkers if they're drunk. Maybe.
You weren't with me more than a day before I knew I'd give my life for his. Family.
Facts.
The thing, who knew?
We're so gonna lose the uncle. Definitely gonna lose him now.
What's the worst thing you ever done?
Why me? Why'd you target me? Why you look straight at me when you ask that question? Why me? Why? Why the girl who murdered? Why?
What kind of question is that?
Right?
It's not even. It is a stupid game, all right? And I was just playing because I
This is why you don't let lightweights drink, because this happens.
You are to eliminate any and all hostile targets that you encounter.
Kill!
They're already dead, so no guilt. Head! Oh my god, what kind of stormtrooper aim is this?
I think she just got scared and did a bad thing. Right, if I can forgive
Probably.
her, then maybe Elton can
This is
forgive
about him.
Or about you.
About you.
It is about you. You need to forgive yourself first, Hope.
Choose the
You received orders for Central Command.
Kill them all.
Sunset protocols are in effect.
Let's talk about how we're gonna save you.
It's impossible.
We can do it. Trust me.
Was he bitten? Because maybe not.
Stand by.
Looks like it's traveled a long way already. You willing to lose your entire leg, Walter?
Jennifer. You don't have a choice.
You always have a choice. Just may not be a pretty one.
Guns get-
Oh, that's what she did.
Put it down.
No. I'm a Marine.
That's too bad for you.
Yeah, instead of dropping you guys off, we want to stick around. Do what we can to help you guys find your dad.
After that, who knows? Let the chips fall where they may.
Silas is like, damn it!
Maybe you want to see me by the truck in an hour?
Why? What's up the truck?
Just me? Just,
Possibly something in my pants.
back.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Silas. Like, I mean, Percy, I don't really trust him either, but he got game. You know, this is the apocalypse. Time is of the essence. We gotta go, go, go. You know? You may not be around tomorrow.
I wouldn't want to lose you like the Queen
Well
of
done,
Hearts.
sir. Well done. He worked real hard.
That's just it.
It's so awkward because it's like he's developing a crush. How do you explain away having a crush on your mother's murderer?
Thank you.
How Game of Thrones.
Something you wear every day. To remember the bad you've done.
I don't know if scarring your face is the way to go. You gotta put that like in a less conspicuous place.
Good.
Okay, listen, I completely underestimated Percy's game. This is next level Silas. I'm sorry, boo, but damn. You gotta say, Silas put the time in. Or Percy put the time in, I mean, sorry. Please tell me Silas did not beat the ever-loving life out of this boy, please.
Iris? Holy shit.
Kinda knew the uncle wasn't gonna make it.
Silas.
Did this happen or was it a setup? And where is Percy? Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things are gonna get brighter. Very interesting. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 7 of The World Beyond, which was called Truth or Dare, and they went quite literal with that one. We did have a game of Truth or Dare with the teenagers, but it really was kind of all about people's truths, the deeper, dark truths that laid beneath everything. Yeah, I don't know. The pacing of this show is very interesting because I feel like the storytelling is still good, but I guess I just have expectations of Walking Dead, and I feel like the overall like action is very, very, it's imbalanced, I guess, in comparison to what we get for all the exposition and storytelling. And I know that this show was guaranteed 2 seasons, so I don't know if they're just kind of planning on using this in the majority of this season as all kind of the foundation, and then maybe season 2 is just going to be go, 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 go. But I don't know, I just kind of like having a bit of a mix, right? You know, Walking Dead kind of has their formula of having like one expositionary episode and maybe one sleepy episode. Then we have like some pretty action-packed ones, or ones that have a good mix of action and exposition for like the next 2 or 3. I don't know, I kind of like that formula, or I guess more maybe I'm just more used to it, but this one has so much storytelling, and this one we kind of got more into it. We finally have Huck's backstory now. We found out like why she ended up being found drifting along the river. My guess is that once she tried to get all those hostages out, she probably was pursued by the military because she literally committed what is the equivalent of treason, I believe. Still, we now know kind of what this dark cloud is, I guess. I think since season 1, they've been kind of showing that Huck has this kind of a darkness or a cloud hanging over her that she never really talked about. And now we know that that's directly in response to her having to kill her fellow I don't know what you call them, platoon, squad mates. I'm sorry, I know very little about military terms, so forgive me if that's wrong. But I mean, these were people that she probably went through a lot with before, especially the person that she got a matching scar for. That person, like they said, apparently they saved each other at some point. And so for her to have to be the one to make that decision of taking his life to save all those people, like I said, it's a Sophie's choice situation, right? I mean, no one would have blamed her if she had let those people die, but at the same time, killing her, you know, the people that she knew and cared about, like both of them were horrible choices. And this is why I said in the episode that there is always a choice, right? When the guy, her friend, was saying, oh, we have no choice. They did have a choice. They all did. But sometimes the choices are crap. In that particular case, Huck had a bad decision and an even worse decision. And either way, she was going to feel horrible at the end of it. Whether or not she did the right thing is not really up to anyone. I think that's something that's a judgment call. Some would look at it and probably say, oh, you did the wrong thing. And other people would say, no, you're a hero. So either way, she had to do a really, really terrible thing. And she's got to live with that heaviness. And we saw that dovetailed into her talking to Hope about her issue around Elton's mom. Again, very much a similar situation. It was a bad situation. It's definitely more avoidable in Hope's case. Like, she didn't need to pick up the gun. She could have just tried to tend to her mother or something. Like, picking up the gun wasn't the right choice. And she keeps saying that the gun went off. So again, she still believes that being startled or whatever the case was the real reason that it happened. But, you know, as Huck said in the end, I do think that her telling Elton would be for herself to alleviate her own guilt over what happened. Whether or not it's the right thing to do, honestly, is a matter of perspective. On the one hand, I do think Elton deserves to know what happened and know the truth, even if that means that he's going to be angry at and hate Hope forever for it. But at the same time, I understand why not telling him and letting him hold on to the hope that his mom and sister are living somewhere is also not a terrible thing. From what we've seen of Elton, though, especially in this episode with him being drunk and all like sappy, I really don't think he has it in him to be a super hateful person. I do think it will change him, though. I think that if he does find out, we're going to see a shift in him either through the rest of the season, depending on when he finds out, or in next season, that he may not still be this super sweet, wide-eyed kid that we see right now. And then finally, I guess, to touch on the Silas, Percy, the uncle situation. I still am on the fence about trusting Percy, and I think that one thing that the uncle said about how Percy was born into this world of grifting and basically had to do it because they had no other choice. And like I said, they've been on the outside the entire time. I don't know how much of Percy is able to stop the grift, if that makes sense. Like, that sort of thing usually takes a while to get out of your system. And just because he's met this group and he has a crush on Iris, it doesn't mean that he's suddenly going to be ready to turn over a new leaf. But we've seen, like, the show made sure to give us lots of shots of Silas taking in this relationship developing between Iris and Percy. And in a lot of ways, from what we've seen of Iris, it seems like Percy is a much better match for her in the sense of they seem to be interested in the same types of things. They seem to be on the same level intellectually. He seems to get her in certain ways. And while Silas is that strong, silent, soft type, we haven't seen a lot of him outside of, like, the little bit of interaction we've seen him have with Iris. And we know that in the group, he's opened up to her more than anyone else. So I can see how Silas is potentially forming a real attachment to Iris, and potentially even before that, because in the episode we saw where Silas's backstory, we saw that he has kind of had a crush on Iris for a while now. So now that he's out in the open, you know, he has nothing left to lose, right? He left his family back at the university, and as we know as an audience, they're gone now. This Iris is kind of all he's got, you know, as far as someone he really has an attachment to. And we know that he also has rage issues. We know that he snaps, and this has been happening for a while. So the ending shot there with him in the booth, it is very possible that he could have... I don't see him beating the uncle to death, though. Like, the uncle didn't represent anything that angered him. It would have been more Percy, but Percy is not there. So I have a lot of questions. Obviously, we see in the preview for next week, they're all going to assume that it was Silas who did this, and the evidence is probably going to point to him, because it looks like when he has these episodes, he blacks out. I've heard of anger being that intense for some people. So with that in mind, we'll have to see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me, and if you did, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more of this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya!